जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 गोपी गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना भजनरञ्जना ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय भगवते वासुदेवाय. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter number 31, verse number 14 or 13? 14. Verse number 14. या पंचभूतरचिते रहिता शरीरे या पंचभूतरचिते रहिता शरीरे तन्नो यथेन्द्रियगुणात्मकोऽहम् तन्नो यथेन्द्रियगुणात्मकोऽहम् तेना विकुञ्चमहिमान् ऋषिं तेना विकुञ्चमहिमान् वंदे परम प्रकृतिपुरुषयो मां वंदे परम प्रकृतिपुरुषयो या पंचभूतरहिते रहिता शरीरे या पंचभूतरहिते रहिता शरीरे अन्नो यथेन्द्रियगुणात् चिदात्मकोऽहम् अन्नो यथेन्द्रियगुणात् चिदात्मकोऽहम् तेना विकुण्ठमहिमान ऋषिन्तमेनम् तेना विकुण्ठमहिमान ऋषिन्तमेनम् वन्दे परं प्रकृतिपुरुषयो पुमांसं वन्दे परं या पञ्चभूतरचितेरहिता शरीरे तन्नो यतेन्द्रियगुणार्थचिदात्मकोऽहम् तेनाविकुण्ठमहिमानमृषिन्तमेनम् वन्दे परं प्रकृतिपुरुषयो पुमान् word for word. Ya who Panchabhuta, five gross elements. Rachite, made of. Rahita, separated. Sharire, in the material body. Thanna, covered. Ayatha, unfitly. Indriya, senses. Guna, qualities. Artha, objects of senses. Chit, ego. Atmaka, consisting of. Aham, I. Tena, by a material body. Avikuntha Mahimanam, whose glories are unobscured. Vishim, all knowing. Tam, that. Enam, unto him. Vande, I offer obeisances. Param, transcendental. Prakriti, the material nature. Purushayo, to the living entity. Umamsham, unto the Supreme Personality of God. Translation and purport of His Divine Grace, cases of Siddhanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am separated from the Supreme Lord because of my being in this material body, which is made of five elements. And therefore my qualities and senses are being misused, although I am essentially spiritual. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to material nature and the living entity, because he is devoid of such a material body, and because he is always glorious in his spiritual quality, I offer my obeisances unto him. Okay. The difference between the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is that the living entity is prone to be subjected to material nature, whereas the Supreme Godhead is always transcendental to material nature as well as to the living entity. When the living entity is put into material nature, then his senses and qualities are polluted or designated. There is no possibility for the Supreme Lord to become embodied by material qualities or material senses. For he is above the influence of material nature and cannot possibly be put in the darkness of ignorance like the living entity. Because of his full knowledge, he is never subjected to the influence of material nature. Material nature is always under his control, and it is therefore not possible that material nature can control the Supreme Personality of God. Since the identity of the living entity is very minute, he is prone to be subjected to material nature. But when he is freed from this material body, which is false, he attains the same spiritual nature as the Supreme Lord. At that time, there is no qualitative difference between him and the Supreme Lord, but because he is not so quantitatively powerful as to never be put under the influence of material nature, He is quantitatively different from the Lord. The entire process of devotional service is to purify oneself of this contamination of material nature and put oneself on the spiritual platform, where it is qualitatively one with the Supreme Personality of God. In the Vedas, it is said that the living entity is always free. Asango Jayam Purusha. The living entity is liberated. His material contamination is temporary, and his actual position is that he is liberated. This liberation is achieved by Krishna consciousness, which begins from the point of surrender. Therefore, it is said here, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Person. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, who has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of the transcendental knowledge. I offer my obeisances also to all the assembled Vaishnavas, seek their permission and blessing to recite Srimad Bhagavatam. So first of all, I want to thank Amada Prabhu and all the devotees assembled here for giving me this opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam. This particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam is very interesting, and we can relate to it personally, because this situation being portrayed here is that of the spirit soul that is in a very uncomfortable situation of the womb. It's a baby not yet born, embryo in the womb, struggling and very unfortunate. But those who are, not all souls are this fortunate to remember the Lord in that situation. But Prabhupada explains that one who has somewhat done some Krishna conscious activity in the past life, when they're in the womb, they pray to the Lord that, my Lord, I'm in a very difficult situation. So in this particular prayer, it's very nice because he says, I'm separated from the Supreme Lord because of my being in this material body. That's interesting. That just by being in the body, I'm separated. How is that possible? Because he says this body is made of 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, air, water, fire, and ether, which is space. And these elements are separated energies of the Lord. And because they are separated energy, right? Bhinna prakriti, right? So Krishna says these are my separate energies. Bhumirapo nalo vayu tham mano buddhi revacha ahankara iti anme bhinna prakriti mashtadha. So bhinna means separated. And here the word used is covered, that I'm covered by this material. Covered means channa. The word is channa. Channa means covered, like a curtain cover. We see this. So we see this word also coming in prayers of Queen Kunti, right? That is covered. We're covered by Maya. So he's saying I'm covered by the material elements, but the real covering is that of Maya. Maya uses the material elements to cover us. The prayer of Queen Kunti Devi says, Maya Javanika Channam. Channa, the same word, Channa. I'm covered. Maya Javanika Channam Agya Doshajam Avayam. Na Lakshya se Muda Grisha Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. That, my dear Lord, she's praying to Krishna as he's about to leave. And she says that you are covered by this curtain we have over here, like this curtain covering the deities. Now we cannot see the deities because they're covered. So similarly, Krishna, you are covered by this curtain, Javanika. Javanika means curtain. Maya Javanika Channam. Agya Dhokshajam Avyayam. That those who are ignorant, they cannot see you because you are adhokshaja. You cannot be seen by these material senses. Agya Dhokshajam Avyayam. Na Lakshya se Muda Drisha. That those who are rascals and fools, Muda, they cannot see you. Even though they are seeing you, they cannot see you. How? Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. Like Duryodhan and all those evil people, they were there, they're seeing Krishna. But Krishna is acting like a drama actor. Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. So similarly, Queen Kunti prays that you are not visible even though you're in front of us. So here also the soul is praying that I'm covered and I'm separated by these high material elements. Why? Because I'm misusing them. They are misused. I am essentially spiritual. But because I'm misusing this situation that I'm in, I am covered. But you, my Lord, you are above. He says, right? You, the Supreme Lord, you're transcendental to material nature. This Maya cannot cover you. Prabhupada explains in the purport the difference between living entity and the Lord is that the Lord can never ever be covered by Maya. Maya is always controlled by the Lord. Whereas living entity has a choice to be covered by Maya or not be covered. Now there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna explains that this Maya is very difficult to overcome. It's not easy at all. He covers us with three kinds of ropes, guna. So why is this Maya very difficult to overcome? Because it is divine. Maya is sourced from the Supreme Lord. It's controlled by the Lord and she is from the Lord. And she has a specific purpose. She is divine. The word divine is Devi. Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya dratya. So Devi means divine, Krishna's direct power. Devi hi esha gunamayi, which is the three ropes we talked about: the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness. So these three material modes keep tying us. We may think we have become free, but another rope comes and another rope keeps coming. We may think we have become free from the gross affections of this Maya, but then the subtle ropes are even tighter. The subtle ropes of the modes are also there to make ourselves think I'm so great, or to make myself very puffed up, and so on. The subtle ropes of Maya are also there. Devi hi esha gunamayi no Maya durasya. So that is the situation that this soul is praying about. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that this process of devotional service is so as to become free from this contamination, to come out of this contamination. Right? The entire process of devotional service is to purify oneself of this contamination of material nature. So, what does Krishna say in that verse? Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya durasya. But he gives a solution in that same verse. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etan tarantite. That if one surrenders unto me, then one can cross over fairly easily, fairly effortlessly, because surrender unto Krishna, then we can cross over the illusory potency of the Lord. We'll come under the shelter of the divine potency of the Lord. The jiva, the living entities, always must have some shelter. Right? So there is Devi Prakriti and there is Mohini Prakriti. Mohini Prakriti is this Maya, this deluding nature. But then there is also the higher nature, which is the spiritual nature. So we have to take shelter of one or the other. So Krishna says that Maya metan tarantite. And who becomes free from the Maya? One who is surrendered unto me. So what is surrender mean? Right? What does it mean to surrender? Anyone? What does surrender mean? Discuss. Krishna mentions this surrender many times. And if someone comes to us, oh, no, I've heard ISKCON is very nice. What am I supposed to do to become happy? Oh, just surrender to Krishna, Prabhu. It says in the Bhagavad Gita, surrender to Krishna. Okay, very nice. What does that mean? What does that mean in practical terms? In the Bhagavad Gita, in one of the last chapters, Krishna explains, or Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityaja, very famous verse, Mam ekam sharanam braja, that's surrender. Aham tvam sarvapapabhyo mokshayishyami ma shusha. Right? So that's easy, everyone knows that verse. But what does that mean in terms of actual work that we are supposed to do? How does it make sense to us? What does it mean to surrender to Krishna? In the purport to that verse, Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice, um, a very nice explanation. What it means to stand. Anybody remember what your Prabhupada explained? Yeah, yeah, exactly. He mentioned very nicely exactly that verse. That verse is from Hari Bhakti Vilas, and that verse lists out the uh, the components of what it means to surrender. Right? So Hari Bhakti Vilas says Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Vardhanam Rakshishyati Vishvaso Bhoktritve Varanam Atmanikshep Karpanye Shadvidha Sharanagati. So when someone is wondering what does it mean to surrender? Surrender has a very specific and very broken down, analyzed step-by-step process that we must understand every piece of it and implement it in life. Right? So what are those pieces? That one should be confident that in all circumstances Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. That level of confidence can only come after developing trust. If I am developing trust that Damodar Prabhu will save me if I'm going somewhere, if I'm going in Nepal somewhere and Damodar Prabhu is with me, I can trust that he is there, he'll save me from all difficulties. I don't know anybody there, but he is there and he'll protect me. Now that trust can only develop if I have a relationship with Prabhuji, if I've seen that he is very qualified, if I've seen that he's the right person for the job. So similarly, the trust in Krishna, that Krishna, no, you will in fact uh, will protect me. That trust can only be developed after we know who Krishna, after we learn who Krishna. Right? We cannot be peaceful with a person who is not so confident about. If a person himself is very shaky looking, we don't feel very confident. We don't feel at peace. We don't feel secure unless the person is powerful enough or competent at least to help us in that situation. Now, peace can only come when you're with somebody that powerful. The Prabhupada lists this verse as the peace formula. You know the word peace formula? Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvalok maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam yatvamam shanti nichchati. Shanti, the peace formula. The peace can only come how? You recognize Krishna as the enjoyer, Bhoktaram, okay. Yagyatapasam, fine. Sarvalok maheshwaram. I am not only a strong man, I own everything. I'm the boss of all these planets that you see. So if you recognize that, then you see how powerful I am. So then you feel confident. Someone who's that powerful? Yes. Now sometimes just being powerful is not good enough to give us confidence. Someone can be very powerful, but if he's not friendly towards me, if he's not my well-wisher, if he's inimical towards me, then that's a big problem. Ravan was very powerful, Hiranyakashipu was very powerful, but we don't want to take shelter of such powerful people. Why? Because they're not my well-wisher. They want to exploit me. They want to use me up. So in the same verse, Bhoktaram Yajitapatam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Krishna emphasizes not only am I fully powerful, but I am Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. I am your well-wisher, not just of you, of every living entity. So I am powerful and your well-wisher. Therefore, you can invest. When those two qualities are there, then we can invest our faith, our trust that no, this person will protect me. So that first point that of surrender is that one should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. That confidence can only arise when we learn about Krishna, recognize that he is not only powerful, but he's also my very dear friend. Then we can be happy and secure. That's just one component. Then another one is, that we should not be worried again of thinking how will I get food to eat, how will I survive. It's called Goptritve Varna. Just recognizing that all my maintenance, Krishna will take care. Sometimes I think, okay, I'm going to work, I get in the car in the morning, I get in the office, only have to work so many hours, I get some paycheck, and then I can eat. It is on my strength that I'm eating. But when a person becomes very mature and realizes that no, it is not on my strength, but everything is happening by the mercy of the Lord. It is by the mercy of the Lord that I'm able to even stand up and get out of bed. Any even one breath, I can only take to the mercy of the Lord. But actually, the Lord has been feeding me. The Lord is the one who has been feeding my family. The Lord is the one who has been feeding the whole country, even the ant in the middle of the Arizona desert, and even the cactus is getting its water. Krishna is taking care of everybody. Why should I be insecure? Why should I be paranoid that, oh, who will take care of me? No, no. When we give up this idea that I am the one doing everything, I am the one taking care of myself, and we recognize that Krishna is taking care of us, then the second notion here that Krishna is the one who will always take care of me, that notion comes by recognition. Krishna will see always that, you know, you will eat, no problem. Then one should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna as the only basis of his progress in life. And as soon as one seriously engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once becomes freed from contamination and fear. Now there are different processes of engaging in Krishna consciousness. What is the most important and most powerful process of this bhakti yoga? Chanting of the holy name of the Lord. We chant in Kirtan and we chant in japa, in private. Japa, we chant japa, right? So, we finished by about 8, right? So, the chanting process of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare is the sublime method by which one can attain devotional service, one can attain a purified state. Now, one of the principles of surrender is also accepting everything that is favorable for Krishna consciousness and rejecting anything that is unfavorable. Now, Sri Prabhupada has given this process of chanting japa, and we all know this is a very, very important aspect. This is one of the promises we make at the time of initiation. This is one of the promises. And Srila Prabhupada said that 80 or 90% of our spiritual advancement depends on this single process of finishing our prescribed number of rounds every day. So then, is it okay just to do a round? 16 rounds, ho gaya? Is the quantity important? Of course, we promised 16 rounds. But what about the quality? Is that also important? The quality of chanting japa is also important. In that same prayer of Queen Kunti, she says, Janma Ishwarya Shutra Shri Bhi Edamana Madahuman Naiva Hartya Vidhatum Vai Vamakinchana Gocharam. In that verse, she says that this birth, high birth, are very beautiful, a lot of wealth, a lot of education. These things that people run after, they make people crazy. Edamana Madahuman. Naiva Hartya Vidhatum Vai. They cannot call out to your name with feeling. You can only be reached by the process of calling out by those who are kinchana. Vama kinchana gocha. I mean, those are penniless. What does that mean? Does that mean that we should first become bankrupt, only then we can become Krishna consciousness? She herself was come from very rich. She had all those things. She had Janma, high parentage, Aishwarya, all the wealth in the world. Shruta, she was very educated. Just read her prayers. Her prayers are the first prayer Srimad Bhagavatam. She is one of the most sophisticated prayers in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam from Queen Kunti. Janma Aishwarya Shruta. Shri, she was considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. But she says, Edamana Madah Kuman. Why? Because they distract us from calling out to you with feeling. Naiva Hatya Vidhatum, right? Vama Kinchana Gocharam. You can only be called out by one who has realized that happiness cannot be found in Janma Ishwarya Shruta. Cannot. So this akinchana nature is the idea that I cannot find happiness from anything other than this holy name. So in the purport to that verse, Srila Prabhupada explains a very important point. He says that chanting process is very powerful, but there is something to be said of the quality of such chanting. Kipa quality, we don't hear this that much, but in that purpose, Srila Prabhupada really gets into it. He said that utterances must have very high quality of feeling. You must call out to him feelingly. Now, if I'm chanting japa, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, in the middle of, I'm doing very distracted things, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and there's no feeling, then at the end of our japa, we don't feel energized, we don't feel enthused, we don't feel we've made much progress. We just feel glad that pura ho gaya, I'm happy it's over my 16 now. It's true, we feel like it's a burden. But that is when we signed up for this Krishna conscious, the whole ISKCON thing. We didn't sign up for this to carry a rock around our neck of burden. This is not a burden. Of course, it's important to always go around, but the system of surrender is what? Accepting anything that is favorable and rejecting anything that is unfavorable. So now, suppose I have to study for an exam, and I have two choices to study. One choice is study in the middle of a rock concert where people are playing drums very loudly. Another choice is to study in a library where it's very quiet. So which is more conducive? Library, obviously. That's a very obvious answer. Similarly, if I have to choose between chanting in a very distracted place with a lot of disturbance, or if I have a choice to chant in a very peaceful place, very sattvic, then naturally the more conducive, the more appropriate place would be to chant in a sacred, quiet place, naturally, like in the temple zone and so on. Similarly, anytime we have the possibility of choice to do anything that is more conducive to improve our japa, especially mentally and physically, then we should take that because that is not something just superficial. That is one of the symptoms of surrender. Accepting things that are favorable, rejecting things that are unfavorable. So, like we saw this, there was a Japa retreat over here. I similarly went to a Japa retreat some years ago by His Holiness Swami, and he gave some very key pointers, which I very much like to remember, is that before we enter into this Japa, let us make sure that we have tried from every angle to make the quality fruitful, to make it so that we feel thoroughly refreshed after finishing Japa and we want to do more. We should not feel that finally it's finished and I can now do anything I want and it's like a burden is finished. So how can we accomplish that? Because that's what we signed up for. We signed up for bliss. We didn't sign up for misery. Right? So how can we accomplish that? So he explains there are four gates to quality japa. Why four gates? So like in South India there are these temples, right? So you go to the temple and then you come to a gate and it looks like the gate itself is a big temple, Gopuram. So you think there's going to be some deity in there, but it's just a gate. Oh, but that's not the temple. It's just a gate. The gate is very important. So you pass that gate, then you go inside, there's another wall, there's another gate. Until you reach the main temple, sometimes you pass through four different gates. So similarly, there are four gates for quality japa. The first gate is physical. What is suitable for japa? Like I mentioned, find a quiet, clean place. Do japa at a peaceful, good time, sattvic time. Brahma Muhurta time, early morning time, sattvic time. These are external. Then sit with the spine straight but not strained. Straight but relaxed. So it takes some practice. Sometimes you can put a little cushion so that the pelvis is tilted slightly forward. So if this pelvic plane is tilted slightly forward, we'll find that your spine can be straight without too much discomfort. I find it like sometimes I took another cushion and sit on the edge of that cushion. It works really well for me. So a lot of people practice yoga, they sit on those kind of cushions. Anyway, whatever works for you, if you're sitting down is difficult, you can sit on a chair. But it's important to keep your spine straight. You see, Prabhupada always says straight. Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur always says straight. Why? There's some importance to that. It's very conducive. Straight. And then your shoulders hang on your body like a shirt hangs on a hanger. Very peaceful. Okay? So now you have externals clear. Another aspect of physical external is chanting with clear voice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Like that. So we must make sure we're pronouncing every word correctly, every syllable correctly, and that we're hearing. So clarity of pronunciation, posture, clean, quiet place, and focus. Right? So now these are physical. So that's the first gate. Now we're making away progress towards better and better japa. The second gate, which we find very difficult, is the mind. Oh no, you're going to talk to me about mind? How is it possible to control the mind? It is possible to control the mind if you want to. Right? What is that verse? Arjuna says, Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati balavatriram tasyaham nigraham manye vayureva shuduskaram. So it's very difficult to control the mind, it's like the wind. But Krishna says, yes, you're right, it's difficult, but it's possible. Krishna didn't say it's impossible. I'll give you one example. Let's do an experiment. Okay? So, let us all close our eyes for a few seconds and follow this thought. Close the eyes, and now you're going in the kitchen. And then, say you have a house, and in the house you have a kitchen. You open the fridge of the kitchen. You take out a carton of orange juice. Close the fridge door. Take the carton of orange juice. Take it to the table. Take out a glass. Pour the orange juice into the glass. Okay. Now, did everybody see the juice? You saw it, right, in your mind. You saw it in your mind's eye. You saw it, right, everyone? You could envision it. It's not difficult. You wanted to see it because that's where your mind was directing. You were directing your mind, go there, go there, go there. It's not difficult. Did your mind complain about this? Oh, no, it's not such an easy thing. So similarly, sometimes we make this mind to be a huge demon that is completely insurmountable and we completely give up hope. No, it's not. Krishna said it's possible. Prabhupada said, why bother? Just chant Hare Krishna. So we can direct the mind toward the meaning of the mantra. The meaning of the mantra is, my dear energy of the Lord, my dear Lord, please engage me in your service. So now I can direct the mind to understand that the name is same as Krishna, there's no difference. That my Lord is a prayer, please engage me in your service. You focus the mind on those two aspects of the mantra. Then gradually with some practice, we'll find that our mind can be brought in line. The first gate was the physical and the external, the pronunciation, the posture. The second gate is the mind, learn the meaning of the mantra and the prayer. Right? That Krishna is not different from his holy. That's the mind. And the third gate is the heart, the emotion, the feeling that we have of love. Or it doesn't have to be love, it can be appreciation, it can be gratitude. So gratitude, appreciation, even just coming to the Lord with just expressing our heart's happiness or sadness or whatever we're going through. But emotions, put them as an offering to the Lord. My Lord, I appreciate so much that you gave me this opportunity to chant. Imagine what I was before I came into Krishna consciousness. And now how nice it is that you gave me this chance. Thank you. So gratitude is a stepping stone, is a step. Like, you have the staircase. So gratitude, appreciation, honoring, these sort of emotions and feelings are stepping stones towards the highest platform, which is love, genuine affection, asakti, attachment, and then actual love. So we start with our gratitude and appreciation. So we can involve our emotions as well and cry out to the Lord, cry thanking Him, or cry sadness at my Lord, or that I wasted my time. My Lord, even now I'm not fully absorbed in you. Please give me strength and intelligence to come closer to you, to serve the devotees better, to serve the Prabhupada's mission better. So these sort of emotions we can carry, positive emotions, to approach the Lord with a feeling. That's what Kunti is talking about. Naiva harta vidahasam, right? Vama kinchana gocharam. That my Lord, I am actually bankrupt. I don't have any good qualities. May have some competencies in certain areas, but those are all your gifts. I personally don't have any. So please accept me as your servant. Please accept me in your circle. Allow me to chant your name. So this feeling comes. So what are the three gates we've covered? The physical and the external. And then we bring the mind aligned, and then our feelings as an offering to the Lord. Now the fourth gate of high quality japa is a door that doesn't have any handle. The handle is on the other side. The other side is Krishna. That door we have no control over. Only Krishna has control. Remember, Krishna always reserves the right to give the mercy or not to give. Therefore, that gate, if it's not open, you just have to wait. Yes, Krishna, my Lord, you are supreme, you are independent. I can never demand that I deserve you. It's always only by your mercy that you open that gate. But what is in our hand? The first three gates. First three gates are in our hand, and we can only open them one by one if you understand this concept of surrender. And coming back to the verse that we're talking about, that the spirit soul in an uncomfortable situation in the womb is saying, my Lord, I am bound by this. Please help me here. You are never bound, but I am. Bound because I'm covered with Panch Mahabhut. Channa. I'm covered, the word used in the verse. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the process of uncovering comes by the process of surrender. Surrender has six components, which we just talked about, and one of the important ones is accepting things that are favorable, rejecting things that are unfavorable, and that component of surrender can be applied with every decision in our life. But at least we can start by applying in our practice of japa, in practice of chanting Hare Krishna. So, end over here. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai. Hare.